I often repeat the axiom which I used when working for Prime Minister Malcolm Fraser. When you're sick of saying it, it's only then that the electorate is starting to listen. Now, the polls would suggest a continuing love affair with Anthony Albanese, mainly because Albo smiles, he has his picture taken with world figures, he says all the motherhood things, an engaging bloke. But we're not running a popularity contest here. This is the future of Australia, which is at stake. Policy matters. What has the Albanese government done since May last year to improve our future? Quickly, come on, off the top of your head, I'll stop. Name one thing. One thing. Now, I've got some bright people around me, and I challenged them about this today. They couldn't name anything. They did know that the Albanese government was in love with renewable energy and demonises fossil fuels, but that day of reckoning is coming, I'm telling you now. They know that Albo and co said, vote for us and you're voting for a better world, you'll walk through the Garden of Eden or the Garden of Albo. But they've ordered Albanese government at least 47 reviews, 38 consultation papers and accords and strategies, 2 summits, the Robo-Debt Royal Commission, Bill Shorten's doing something there, 51 ministerial roundtables, and then an inquiry into Scott Morrison's multiple ministries. But electricity and gas prices, they're placing families and businesses at risk. Basically, investors have got other countries to go to where this escalation in energy prices doesn't occur. Now, as I said earlier, the Liddell coal-fired power station will close on April 28, a couple of days away, a rearing in 2025, because they demonise fossil fuels. 5 power stations across Australia are going to shut down. 13% of the market's capacity. Snowy Hydro's a joke, and an expensive joke. But of course, Chalmers keeps telling people how tough things are to cover his backside for not being able to produce a budget in May which will relieve any of the cost of living pressures. We know Labor said before the election on 97 separate occasions that average household power bills would be lower under Labor, and they actually quoted a figure, didn't they? $275. But if they said that 97 times, how many times have they said that the massive increase in energy costs is the fault of Vladimir Putin? I'm sorry, it's another lie. Putin's war broke out on February 24. As I said earlier tonight, Labor was still making these promises right up until polling day on May 21. Bowen, I repeat, unapologetically, is an unacceptable danger to our economic future. We are replacing reliable 24/7 power provided by fossil fuels with unreliable wind and solar, which need expensive backup for the 70% of the time when the wind isn't blowing and the sun isn't shining. Do you think if Albanese had told us before the election that there'd be a tax on superannuation, that he would have been elected? Do you think if he'd told us before the election that 10 million middle-income Australians in the May federal budget would lose their low and middle-income tax offset in the middle of a cost of living crisis, that Albanese would have been elected? In other words, some of those 10 million taxpayers will have up to $1,500 less in their pockets. Do you think if Australians were told that before the election, that Albanese would have been elected? I'm saying wake up, Australia. Daniel Wild joins me from the Institute of Public Affairs. As you know, he's articulate and informed. And as well as all of the above, we're now being told to back the voice because nothing has been done for Indigenous Australians.